It's story time.
It was supposed to be a weekend of fun and relaxation. 3 friends, Jess, David, and Mike had decided to go on a camping trip in the woods. They had heard about a secluded cabin that was perfect for camping, so they decided to check it out. As they approached the cabin, they noticed that it looked old and rundown. It seemed as though no one had been there in years. But they were tired and decided to take a chance and stay there for the night. As night fell, strange things started happening. They heard creaking noises and footsteps upstairs, even though they were the only ones there. The lights flickered, and they saw shadows moving across the walls. The air was thick with an eerie silence, and they all felt as though they were being watched. David suggested that they leave, but Jess and Mike were too scared to move. As they huddled together in the living room, they heard a faint whisper coming from upstairs. They couldn't make out what it was saying, but they knew it wasn't human. Suddenly, the door slammed shut, and they were trapped. They tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Panic set in, and they realized that they were not alone. Something sinister was in the cabin with them. They heard scratching at the door, and then the sound of something moving around the cabin. Jess suggested that they try to find a weapon to defend themselves, and they split up to search the cabin. As Jess was searching the basement, she found an old journal. It belonged to a man who had lived in the cabin years ago. He had written about a curse that had been placed on the land by the Native Americans. Anyone who stayed in the cabin would be haunted by the spirits of the dead. Jess quickly ran upstairs to tell David and Mike what she had found. They all realized that they needed to leave the cabin before it was too late. They grabbed their bags and ran out into the night. As they reached their car, they heard a blood-curdling scream coming from the cabin. They didn't look back, and they drove away as fast as they could. Years later, people still talk about the abandoned cabin in the woods. They say that anyone who goes there will never return and that the spirits of the dead still haunt the place.